Alright, here we are on the Whitby once more. It's been a couple of months since the last update, so I'm going to take you a walk through and show you what's been done since we last chatted. As you remember, there were a lot of repairs underway on top of the deck, and I was talking about doing the plumbing on the boat too, and amongst other things. So let's start first with here in the saloon area. You'll notice here this door was off because the hinges, hang on, is it a bit faded? Hang on, fuzzy. That's better. There's a little bit of fuzz on the screen. Anyway, so here this door has been new hinges put on it and replaced. It's now an enclosed area which is currently empty. Was also down here. I put new hinges on this door here that goes underneath the sink, as well as this door here as well. So the hinges have been replaced on all those and they're all working again. Inside here, the evaporator plate inside the freezer section has been put in. I won't show it to you, it's nothing exciting. It's been fitted and I'll show you the rest of the system in a little while. Now we go back forward and we'll look down here and we'll come to where the hatch area is. Now you remember the hatch area was being worked on. There was filler and epoxy being put around the edge before the hatch could be fitted. Now we'll have a look here. You can see it's all fresh and new. This has all been painted with gel coat, so it's all sealed in. I still have to get rid of the old sticker from the old backing from where they had a double-sided tape on with Velcro for holding the screen in place. I've got actually hatch screens that actually sit on top of the deck now, so don't need any of that. But this is the new hatch. As you can see, it's got quick release handles. Makes it easy for opening and shutting and getting in and out fast if you have to. And it's nice and clear, not crazy cracked like the old one was. Just a much better setup. Now if we back up from there, I want to show you, oh yeah, see the mold on here? You notice it's all very moldy. And I've been thinking about how the hell to get rid of that mold. I talked to a number of different people and they showed me a product that allowed me to do what you see here is what used to be on here. I've done to about there, and I cleaned that whole wall off of black mold. It's all gone, as well as up here and down here as well, down to about there. And the product I used is this here. This is called Barkeeper's Friend, and it's very gentle on wood, but it removes black mold very easily. I was very happy with it, and I'll be able to do the rest of the woodwork in the boat and remove any mold wherever I find it. So there's that. Now, in the head here, you'll notice the door has been fixed because it's got new hinges on it and new hinges on that one as well. So I was able to put these doors back on and they're now operational. You'll also notice a new sink with a new faucet and a new shower fitting. All new, with new pipework underneath as well. You'll notice some of the supplies here that I've been using. So the plumbing system for this head, as well as the head and the aft berth, has been replaced, and it all looks like this now. It's all brand new. So that's been done. Just need a little bit more cleanup in here, and it'll be totally useful. So there's that. Now get that closed. The mold will get done soon. If we come out here, yes, this door here, which opens up the, I don't know if we can look in there. This is where you store your drinks and such, and I've got other stuff in there right now. But the bottom hinge had pulled away. I replaced the entire bottom edge strip of wood with a strip of teak, which is yet to be stained, and then I was able to attach the hinge. So that work has been done. That's the new hatch. This hatch here is to go up and replace this old hatch here. I don't like this hatch because it's got these old knobs on there, which take you forever to undo to get it open. This has got quick release handles on it, same as that forward hatch. A couple of digital thermostats for the fridge freezer system, and some plumbing supplies. Back here in the galley, you'll notice we got a new plumbing in here as well. This is a very nice sinker faucet with very nice knobs on it. Very compact. Looks nice. Brand new. So that's been done as well. Okay, so that's that in this area here. If we go to the afterburth area, no we won't, we'll go into the engine room. Now if you remember, the engine room was a god-awful mess of wiring and piping running all the way down this wall here and all through here as well. There was piping and bits and pieces hanging out and coming out of these holes here and such, and a whole just conglomeration of mess. Right now it's still a bit of a mess, but there is vast improvements, and I'll walk you through some of that stuff right now. Here you'll see the new sink and the hose work, and a electric pump for running that sink is fitted there. That's for the afterburth toilet bathroom area, and that's been fitted. Up here you'll notice a new light has been put in, LED. That is the evacuation fan for clearing gases out of the engine room before you start the engine. That is obviously new because the old one was steel and rusted up and hanging off a couple of rusty brackets. This black hose here is going to be replaced. That's still to be done. That red hose at the back still has to come out and disposed of. The pipe work on the back wall there, that was hanging in the middle of this area here. I've mounted it to the wall now, and so and had some modifications done on the bottom to reroute it a little bit, make it a bit better and more compact. This is pipe work and such to go back into the pedestal up here, which is, well, I'll show you in the cockpit. As you can see, the pedestal floor is back in, as is the engine. I'm not sure if I showed you the engine in place. These are the new engine mount brackets I put in there and there. Stainless steel bolts, 2 bolts in each bracket. Then the engine's bolted to this stainless steel, well, not stainless steel, steel framework. So very solid and very steady. This engine is about half the weight of the old Perkins and probably 2/3 the size, and it puts out 65 horsepower, same amount of horsepower. So there's a lot more room in front here. This gap here used to be taken up by the Perkins engine. Makes it much easier to get into this engine room now. And there's a huge amount of pipework on the oh look, there's another light I put in over there too. That little thing right there, that's the new compressor system for the fridge freezer. The old compressor system took up that entire bracket area from there all the way through to there. So this unit is far more compact and does a much better job. And the feed pipe for cooling comes from down there, and I fed it along the bottom edge through here, down through a filter to that seacock right here. That's all been replaced. It's all new stuff. So that's all been taken care of. It's been done neatly, screwed to the walls, very easy access when I want to clean the filter out. So, because this is a water-cooled fridge freezer. Now, what we might do is I'll stop the video right now and I'll show you in the back of the truck the amount of plumbing and pipework and crap that I've taken out in the first stage, and then we'll come back to this video and I'll show you some more of what is going to happen. All right. And here we have the pipe work that was pulled out. Currently, I still have a lot more to go. This is sink, water separator, filter, strainer. There's a couple of through-hole fittings here that were frozen. But all of this pipe work is the water pump. There's one water pump there. I've left a water pump back on top of the boat. The sink pipes and faucets and such, and just pipe work dealing with that hot water tank there. This mess is the pipe work that I pulled out around the hot water tank and the forward head. I haven't touched the rear head area yet, and I have not done the kitchen sink yet. So this is just one head and the hot water tank system. And as you can see, I have got like 5 different colored hoses here, all to do water. And the hoses went forward and back and around and backwards and forwards, and it was just a hodgepodge mess. So you can imagine I've decided to get rid of all of it, start again, and make a simpler system with minimal amount of hosing, because it was just a god-awful mess under the floor. Alrighty. Alright, here we are back again. Now you'll notice that there is a huge conglomeration of wiring here, through here, going through there. There was a huge conglomeration hanging up behind this panel here. I took all of that out, pulled it out, thrown it out. I'll show that to you in a little while. All of this inverter charger for the 110 and 12 volt system encompasses all of this stuff through here, down through here, down to there. Now I can tell you right now, the absolute majority of all this I am going to bin. I'm going to take it all out and it's not coming back. And I'll show you at the end of the video why. Because I've got something totally new. Now that I've got solar power to be put on this boat, this system is a little bit outdated. Plus, it's only a 50 amp, 1000 watt marine inverter. It's not going to be able to handle a lot of the stuff that I'm putting on the boat. So it has to be upgraded anyway. And as you can see from my hand, this thing is very deep, it's very big, and rather obtrusive in the doorway here. When you come in and out, it'll hit your right shoulder on it a lot. So I'm going to replace all of that. All of this is going to disappear. All of this junction, all this wires, wherever they go, it's all going to disappear. And most of this in through here is going to disappear as well. This switch here, which is for the batteries, will stay. We still need a battery isolator switch. But all of this rubbish through here is going to just won't be there anymore. And I'll show you how that's going to work. Alright, so that's the engine room. We will come back to that later when I'm ready to show you the new electrical system we're going to put in. Now back here in the bedroom, which is a bit of a mess because I live in here now, you'll notice, hang on, let's see if I can do this without, should have prepared this before I made the video, shouldn't I? Originally the bed only came to here. That line you can see through there. That was the width of the bed. But if you remember in one of the previous videos, I was sanding and prepping a panel. That's this panel here. It's been painted. An edge has been put on. A brown lip, as you can see here. I've cut a piece of foam to fit. And I've been able to extend the width of the bed by a good 18 inches. Gives me a lot of room. So there's that, and I can make my bed later. I've got some new lights going in. There's one there. I've got another one to put on the other side, and that will replace this rusty one here. That's to go in. Got my AC unit here in the room. Pumps me full of cold air when it's hot. It's not hot today, so no cold air is pumping. So back out this way. Let's take a tour on the outside, and you can see some major developments there. Alright, so the cockpit floor is back in and sealed, as you can see, with the pedestal, which the ship's wheel attaches to. Stepping into here, you'll note this is a new instrument panel I put in with good gauges. As you can see, it's very pretty. I'm very happy with that. This is the compass. It's still operational and usable, but it's rather ugly. I have access to a still full polished stainless steel unit, which I'm probably going to replace this brass one with, just to make it look nice. Now let me step out on the deck and I'll show you what's happened out here on the top first. I'm going to walk to the back part of the boat here, the aft, and we have now got a bimini frame in place, which is now fully set up ready for canvas, which I have to get stuck into. That's another job. But you'll also notice I have 2 solar panels screwed in on top of the bimini frame. So those 2 solar panels are the first stage of solar power. Once I put some davits on the back here, there'll be another 2 panels that'll go in, and I'm hoping for about 1500 watts of charging power. So there's that. Now on a little side note, you'll notice that little brass mount brackets. These are actually bronze, and they're the earth brackets that you use for copper pipe that goes into the ground at your house, and they are ideal for putting solar panels on your bimini frames. Absolutely ideal. Being bronze, they won't corrode, they won't rust away, they won't fall apart. And I just simply put stainless steel screws in, and the threaded strips you can see coming out, I'm going to put dome head cap nuts on there for safety. So there's that as well. Now let's move to the forward part of the deck. Now, as you remember in the previous video, the forward hatch area was still a bit rough and I was still working on it. And here, as we were just saying, it was still a bit rough and I was still working on it. You'll note now that there is a white area around it. That is gel coat covering the epoxy filler that's been fed into the deck. Once that was dry, I then mounted and sealed the new hatch in. So that's a done project. We have here a Spinnaker pole. It's about 6 inches too long, so I'm going to shorten it by 6 inches, and then it fits onto the main mast on the front here, one end fitting up here, and then you fold it up against the forward part of the mast up to there. And that is there for the head sail. When you're sailing downwind, the Spinnaker pole goes out to the side, holds the head sail out. So that's for. Now let's take a tour. We'll go down the ladder here and I'll show you what's been going on down here. Also from up here you'll notice this is the mizzen mast. This goes on the aft part of the deck. I don't remember if I videoed the repair to the aft part of the deck, but we'll go there right now. There's the deck mount for the mizzen mast. So once I've got the mizzen mast ready, the boat's ready to go into the water, I can throw the mizzen mast up at the same time, and that will only take about half an hour to mount it. Right now I'm going to take this light out. I'm going to use the hole for the wiring for the radar pod that's going to mount here on a radar bracket. So that's about the only major modification that I have to do to that I know of right now before that mast goes up. But I'll keep you updated as I work on it. Now, back down the ladder. Alrighty. Now, the forward part of the hull where the through hole fitting was for the depth sounder was ripped out, and a panel had been screwed over the top to get her home. Don't know if I still have the panel. Let's look for it. I probably don't. It was a foot square. How you doing? Doing a video. So right now this area here has been repaired. This is the new through hole fitting they put in, Garmin. This whole area there was cleaned out, all new fiberglass put in, and then gel coated over the outside, and a new hole drilled for the through hole fitting. So that's been fixed, repaired and fitted. Now you'll also notice that the bottom half of the hull is now blue. That's all fresh anti-foul. It's been painted on. The anti-fouling has been done. Very pretty. And if we come along the back here, you'll also notice there's now a propeller on the boat as well. So I repaired the propeller, painted it in zinc coating to seal it, and mounted it. So that's been taken care of as well. The whole boat hull has been sanded smooth and is now ready for paint. I have not been able to paint it because the last 4, 5, 6 weeks the heat has been unbearable, and you just cannot paint in that sort of sun without the paint going off too fast before it self-levels when it comes to rolling and tipping. So I've decided to leave it alone for a while, and because I haven't been able to do the paint, I haven't been able to put the boat in the water, so I've been doing a lot of those minor projects. Alright, so, but the hull is ready to be painted when I'm ready. Just wipe it down with some, when I'm ready, and then start painting it. I can probably put the new red bootstrap where that green is. I'll probably do that in the next few days, paint that on, and that way that's taken care of, and I can cross that off the list. And now, as I just mentioned before, I haven't been able to put the boat in the water. A number of factors have come into play over the last couple of months that has caused me to change my priorities on how quickly I put this boat in the water. A lot of the projects that I'm doing inside the boat could have been done once I was on the water. I decided not to bother. I slowed down on a lot of projects, and I'm just taking my time and doing things as they come now. So yes, I'll go back upstairs and I'll show you what is going to happen with the new wiring system. In regards to that, let me show you some of the wiring I've already pulled out. There is a bucket full of wiring that came out of the engine room. As you can see, it's quite extensive. Some of the plumbing, look at that plumbing, look how nasty that was. That came out of, that was what was in the fore and aft bathrooms. You had your faucet and your shower head nozzles, but just 2 of each of those rather than just those 1 each. I decided to keep them just to show you how grungy they were. There's some more hose work that I pulled out after pulling out that pickup load of hose work, and even now I still got more hoses to pull out. I've got another boom here to put on the boat. The boom that's already up on the boat only used for lifting the engine in and out. That new white one is quite a nice boom, and I'll show you why. First of all, I mean, it needs to be repainted and such, but you'll notice down in here there's 4 pulleys. This allows me to run ropes internally inside the boom, and I will most likely be able to set up a single reef system, meaning that I can reef the sail on my own when it's set up. On the forward part, this is interesting too, it has clutches, rope clutches, to hold the ropes to stop them from moving once you've got it set where you want it to go. So there's that as well. One of them needs to be fixed. It's broken the handle off, but that's okay because I'll probably just copy what they've done here and just put a knurled bolt in rather than just a bolt like that. If I put a knurled handled bolt in, it'll look much prettier and much more practical. But yeah, this just needs to be cleaned off, repainted, repaint the white, and then I'll be able to reinstall it. There's a couple of more booms here, this one here and that one there. There for the Mizzen Mast when I'm ready to put that up. I've got all the sails are up on deck. I didn't show them to you. This is why there's so much of a god-awful mess on the boat currently. Let's walk back up on the boat again and I'll show you. I was going to turn the video off, but oh well, shit happens. Now, going back up on the boat. The first two bags you see here are sails. These will be used on the boat when I'm ready. And you'll see another sail over there in another big bag. This thing has huge sails, so these bags of sails take up a lot of room on the deck. I'll be able to, when I put them up, I'll be able to put a sail cover on them, like this boat has here, and it'll clear the deck of more stuff. But right now, I've got lots of building supplies in here. Bags of sails and electrical wiring and bits and pieces, radar mount, blah blah blah, insulation. Signs of a major project going on. Now, let's go back down inside. I'm going to show you a nice brilliant new system that I bought in this box here. Again, I should have had this prepared, but well, let's deal with it as this. Inside this box is this. It is 5 inches deep, less than 6 inches deep, and this is the new inverter system for taking your solar power and running it through your boat. It also runs your 110 volt system in the boat, and it charges your batteries. And the whole system is contained in this one unit. It is called a hybrid inverter. So 24 volts and 110 volts, and it's computer controlled. All of the accessories are inside this one little box, which means all I have to do down here is put one cable in for shore power, and then there's another 110 volt cable that comes out that goes to your power panel with all your circuit breakers for your 110 volt system. You then have another hole for your solar power panel, for your solar panel power to come in, and then you have another wire come out that charges your batteries. And that's it. There is nothing else. You're done. Everything is contained in there. You don't have to do any other wiring. All you have to do is have some wires run from your batteries to your power board on the wall there. You don't have to put any circuit breakers in. That's self-contained. You don't have to put any fuse boxes in. It's all self-contained. All of this stuff you see here, this inverter, which is a good 9 to 10 inches deep, is going to come out. All of that system there is going to come out. All of that wiring is going to come out. All of that crap in here is going to come out. And that grow watt unit that I just showed you will mount to the wall, and it will only come to about here in depth. So it's almost flush, just proud of the doorway. And you won't need any of this stuff here. None of this will be here anymore. There'll only be the one cable going in from the shore power cable, one cable coming out. That is to run your 110 volt system in the boat. And then one cable for the solar panels to come in, and one cable coming out to charge your batteries. There will be nothing else. And I am absolutely looking forward to fitting that unit in here and getting rid of 90% of this crap in here. As we said before, this will stay. That's fine. we can take care of that. That's there just for an isolator for the batteries. I will end up putting lithium batteries in, and the reason that is the new lithium batteries that are on the market that have been tested and shown are reliable are 280 amp hours each, and I can get them for about $500 or $600 each. And 2 of those batteries connected up to power 24 volts will give me 560 amp hours of power, I believe. Well, I'll have 2 banks giving me 560 amp hours, which, if you understand lithium batteries, they can be recharged 10, 11 times a day, plus they can be discharged down to 90%, down to 10% reserve power, and it will not damage the battery. Now, if you know AGM batteries, an AGM battery can only be discharged to 50% before a safety protocols cut in and stop you from discharging the battery any further. So a 100 amp hour AGM battery that cost me $300 to do the same as the 4 batteries I'm going to be buying, I would need, let's work that out, that's 50 amp hours per battery. Well, I'd need 10 AGM batteries to give me the same amount of reserve power as the 4 lithium batteries that I'm going to put in here. It's definitely worth looking at lithium and considering using lithium. Alrighty, that's it for now. I think I've thought of everything. I will eventually do another video soon. The next video will probably be to do with the mast and the fitment of this unit here, and pulling out even more of that wiring. And and I've still got to fit the bilge pumps, which is a little thing. Alrighty, that's it for now. Talk to you later. Bye bye.